This special edition of the Algorithm Playbook has been put together for those of you that showed up for the in-person presentation at the Carson City Senior Center on April 20th and are unable to attend the rescheduled session at 10 a.m. on May 4th. Again, my apologies for not being there on the 20th. Even after you've viewed this video, I encourage you to attend on May 4th for exercises and Q&A that are part of the live session. You'll find that this video moves faster than an in-person PowerPoint presentation, and you may want to pause or even back up while viewing. Burke used 11 Labs to generate this AI version of his voice. He'll be using it, speaking in the first person, during this presentation. You will hear some flat inflection that is common with AI-generated voices. With a recent bout of the respiratory and coughing grunge that has been going around, and at 82 years old, lecturing for up to an hour plus gets a bit uncomfortable. He hopes you don't mind. If you find it annoying, you're welcome to leave at any time. In 2006, I retired from a career as CEO of Chambers of Commerce and Destination Marketing Organizations, also known as Convention and Visitor Bureaus. Prior to retirement and until 2012, I taught undergraduate and graduate programs, principally at California State University, Monterey Bay. During COVID, we restored a small condo in Carson City that had been a rental for about 30 years. Now, with my wife Lee, we split our time between the Carson City condo, a rustic cabin in the Tahoe National Forest just north of Olympic Valley, and traveling. There are some things in this presentation that may concern you. But please don't panic. By the end of the presentation, you'll find that you have more control than you think. Even though I'll be sharing some thoughts on how you can push back, not doing so is a very realistic option. If the things we're discussing don't bother you, that's okay. That said, let's get started.
A systematic set of rules or calculations that analyzes data about you and then delivers targeted information or stimuli to shape how you think, feel, or act.
This text in yellow is the crux of what algorithms are all about. A cookie resides on your computer and identifies you. Algorithms are on the servers of big tech and analyze your behavior. A web browser links the two. We're not going to be addressing cookies today, but when asked, always say, "Only necessary." I love this image. Algorithms are invisible connecting threads built by big tech based upon your online activity. Amazon keeps track of your order history, what you reorder, and offer things to buy that go with what you've already bought. Social media keeps track of your friends or contacts, what you post, view, like and don't like, and with whom you share stuff. And news sites know the stories that interest you. Google knows your search history and sites you've visited. Artificial intelligence bots keep track of your conversations and know the things you are interested in. And why do I show a smartphone? Every handheld device has an advertising ID. It is a lot like cookies on your computer. They allow sites to track your online activities. We'll cover how to disable this later in the presentation. And this is who they are, just to name a few. Here's my metaphor for how this works. The paint hopper is where they collect, sort, and shuffle the bits and pieces they've captured about you. Then, kind of like an FBI profiler, it creates a picture of you. As noted earlier, how you think, feel, and act. Let's take a closer look at what they are collecting. Behavioral data, clicks, likes, what you look at, and videos that you watch. A bit redundant, but your search history and the sites you visit. Big tech tracks everywhere you go with your phone and when you look at maps to plan routes on your computer. Shopping or browsing, they know the products or services you are considering or have previously purchased. Inferred interests are not things that you have explicitly stated, but they surmise or conclude from your other actions. For example, tracking the sites you've visited, news stories viewed, videos watched, searches and AI chats or conversations, they might conclude that you are slightly right of center. You've never said it. They just came to the conclusion and pinned that label on you. Shadow profiles is data they have purchased or traded from other sites that applies to you. These end up folded into their algorithm related to you. It's no wonder that data farms are projected to consume 12% of national electricity generation by 2028. They learn a lot about you by the things you like and dislike. And even more when you complete online surveys. I know I've said it before and will say again, your online shopping, even things you just look at and don't buy. It doesn't have to be online. All loyalty programs add information to the things they know about you. Most banks don't share things you charge on their credit cards. However, the companies that offer alternate ways to pay do. Important note, HIPAA laws prevent them from sharing your prescriptions. Every click goes into the metaphorical algorithm paint hopper, and all of this ends up in the portrait they've painted about you. Now let's look at why they do it. Clearly, it is to manipulate you. Continuing to offer content that you like keeps you on their site longer, exposing you to more advertising. This isn't particularly harmful. But then it gets more serious, and potentially it can be harmful. They want you to share, and they might even add the people with whom you are sharing to their database. Sharing is like pollinating. And they want you to keep buying stuff. Most insidious of all, they want you to vote in a way favorable to them. A common malicious practice is phishing, where they use text messages, email, and even phone calls to get you to fall down the rabbit hole.
Help me!
Based upon what they know about you, targeted ads come your way. They will even stoop to sending fake news or news with a thread of truth, but bent to fit your algorithm. How's this for sleazy? They see you shopping for something and jump in with an alternative favoring one of their partners. While scams can be terrifying and confusing, it's fast and convenient to get your news online. Just remember that some news sites use your past views to shape what they show you in the future, and may sell the information to people that want to influence your vote. Now that we've scared the bejesus out of you, what can be done to push back? Well, there's this. Or, as we've said before, doing nothing is an option. Now here's my list. There are more, but this should get you started. Upon your request, the 3 major credit bureaus, the agencies most lenders go to determine your credit worthiness, will freeze the issuing of any new credit. New credit card applications, auto loans, and similar will be told that there is a freeze on your credit and will warn them not to move forward with the application. Should you want additional credit, you can go back in and unfreeze things. I know that the 2-factor authentication is an inconvenience, but it is truly the best way to prevent evildoers from hacking your account. This may be beating a dead horse, but make them complex, change them frequently, and do not use the same one on multiple sites. Most credit card issuers allow you to be notified when a charge above a specific limit is made on your card. This can be an early warning of fraudulent card use. We have had our card hijacked twice, once at an airport off-brand burger joint and another at a gas pump at a Shell station in Truckee. In the case of the burger and gas, these were consistent with our algorithm and not caught by their fraudulent charge system. So we notified the bank, the card was canceled, and we had to wait for the new card to arrive. Most inconvenient was the need to change the autopay accounts to a different card and then change them back to the primary card when the new one arrived. Our bank, on a few occasions, has sent us a fraud alert when a charge didn't fit our algorithm. Not all algorithms are bad, and declined to pay them unless we told them they were valid. In one instance, it resulted in the cancellation and issuance of a new card. When it is too good to be true, scary, or given unwarranted urgency, stop! Examples include offers that are just too good to be true, high-pressure tactics like an urgent call from a non-existent grandchild, when an unfamiliar contact just falls out of the blue, or a message from an unverified source wants you to open an attached refund, invoice, or link to a website. Just mark it as spam. If legitimate, they'll figure another way to contact you. If in doubt about the legitimacy of an email, click on the sender's address and take a closer look. In this actual message I received, clicking on the sender's address revealed an attempt to have me believe it was from QuickBooks, but notice that the S is missing. Looking further, you see that the actual domain from which it was sent is in Malaysia. And never click to open an attachment or any other links in the message and mark it as spam. Changing privacy settings can be tedious, and the wording is frequently technical and confusing. But, that said, you can go the privacy settings of websites and opt out of many of the things the site is doing automatically and will continue to do by default. Note that this is different from clearing history, which I address in a few moments. Take a moment and read this. You may not be able to completely disarm big tech. Most big tech platforms claim to let you delete or reset personalization data, but the controls vary widely. Google, Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Apple, TikTok, and Microsoft all offer some form of delete activity or reset recommendations, but none provide full transparency into what algorithmic data actually gets erased. Google privacy settings also apply to other Google products such as YouTube and Google Maps. Even obscure sites such as PayPal have privacy settings you can change. Most sites that retain information from your interactions allow you to delete the specific history or conversation. This does not mean that it is no longer considered as part of your algorithm. The data may be gone, but the influence it had on the algorithm may not. To reduce their ability to capture information, you may want to use an incognito browsing window. In most cases, any activities, including browsing history and cookies, will be deleted when you close the window. Different AI chatbots have different policies regarding use of an incognito window. If you are logged into the browser with the same login as you use with ChatGPT, the conversation is retained. If you are using Microsoft's Copilot, the conversations are not retained. As mentioned way back near the start of this presentation, every smartphone has an advertising ID that acts like a cookie on your computer and identifies you to websites. Android phones allow you to delete it entirely. With iPhones, you can turn off the Allow Apps to Request to Track, but you may have to do it app by app. I'm still a Californian and have signed up for Drop. Starting in August, this service will automatically opt you out of more than 500 websites. It will tell big tech to delete and not use or sell your personal information. I hope it works. Be sure to fact-check things that excite or concern you. This means getting off the sofa and being proactive. This is also known as critical thinking.
Critical thinking is the careful, deliberate determination of whether we should accept, reject, or suspend judgment about an issue, and the degree of confidence with which we accept or reject it.
There are many sites that have already fact-checked much of what you see and hear, but you have to determine if something is suspect and check it out. This requires work on your part. This is the first of several slides naming fact-checking sites. I'll pause on each in case you want to take a picture. But even fact-checking sites have their biases. Note that the BBC, the Dispatch, and Reuters fall in the central or neutral block. Watch for my future presentations on fallacies and biases at the Senior Center. Today we've confirmed that we are being manipulated by big tech. They are doing it with algorithms. The who list is endless, but a few were listed. We addressed why they do it, some relatively harmless, and some that are quite malicious. And finally, how you can proactively push back. Here are my final thoughts. Once you start applying critical thinking to all of your online activities, you will develop what I call BS canceling headphones. You will develop motor reflexes that send up red flags when something doesn't sound right. You might also start smelling the poo. Here's a mnemonic for smell that could be added to your critical thinking skills. I'll leave the slide for a moment for pictures. Work at it a while and you'll develop your own BS canceling headphones, and you'll soon be applying the smell test. Or there's always this.
Thank you. It's a wrap.